Welcome back to the channel. Now, I don't know if this resonates with anyone out there or not. Me, it actually really did. I was looking up some prong tunes. First over on the channel, what have we done? And I'm like, well, man, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? I really like those tracks. Then I go over and I take a peek and I start looking some stuff up and I see Prong music channel run by Prong, the band itself. I'm not sure if that's legitimate or not. I hope so. Because it basically goes on to say, you know, if you're skipping through commercials, then that's probably run by the record label, and BMI or one of them. You know, we deal with it all the time, and that's okay. We have channel supporters that exist outside of having to worry about the individual reactions. That's awesome. And I thought just to put that up like that, I like, right? I think that's. I don't know. I think it's a good point. I got enough videos on the channel where, you know, I understand how it works, but I'm pretty positive commercial advertising is designed to make you, you know, push you in directions you don't really need to go, to Bernays-esque, like, help you make decisions. And I'm just not a big fan of that. So when I read that, I was like, that's cool. Let's go with this Divide and Conquer official lyric video here over on and just because the Tom McDonald video, which, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm not chasing Tom's name or his views, but I do like, I like either regurgitating or thinking about or reflecting upon the ideas in there. And the divide and conquer Hegelian dialect, you know, always hate your neighbor because there's a problem the other neighbor is going to solve. I don't like, you know, I'm not a big fan. So the title here really works. Kicks in real good from the start. Let's go back and to double, triple down, or just drive home the point. The Prong Pantera show was one of the greatest concerts I ever went to in my life. I don't know how it was for the musicians. It's not really relevant, is it? I mean, from their point of view, of course, and I don't mean no disrespect. I actually hope when Prong came through the Rock, I hope I got to feed them, because they're on the short list. As soon as Snap Your Fingers came on, boy, everybody understood who they were seeing. And I had known the whole time. I was back there working and just, right, I'm working the Prong show. I liked it, especially when it was one of the earliest, the first legal drinking show I saw. Right, it was Prong Pantera, Mind Over 4 or something like that. I don't know. They were unfortunately forgettable the rest of the show. Unbelievable.
There's no relief, there's just regret. Want to forget, just can't believe. Really don't want any part of this. Just another bad experience. For once positive or negative, maybe it's all just relative. You can't go through life without these conditions. Divide and conquer. You can always rely upon opposition. Faith and sorrow. You can't go through life without some division. Divide and conquer.
You do not have to watch the Tom McDonald video. If Prong is your thing, then that probably ain't going to float your boat. But my reference is sound. Definitely, I felt, you know, all our feelings aside, all our poetic license, it gets down to oppressed, oppressor, control, controller. Wink, wink. That the chains and the cages that bind and control us have no feeling, do not care. They're just waiting for those who rock the boat enough to frustrate the local mob. That honestly, that mob rule and some of this, there's more of us than more of them. And I used that for my side the other day. So I admit I'm guilty of it too. Hypocrisy in full view. But it's I guess for me, they're the same thing. That you have the massive mob, pitchfork. It's because the 2% in their overtly sexual side is mixed up in this conversation. Whether it's the pitchfork and torch wielding mob or the tiny category of sexual activists, to it doesn't matter. There's when the power of the group is used to sway the hearts or minds or force the non-compliant into compliance, feelings and opinions aside, we're just back to cages and chains. Control. So this really hits the nail on its head for where old Rollen was coming from a few reactions ago to this moment. Yeah, I think about this all the time.
Life without subdivision, divide and conquer. You're coming to time inside your own prison. You only see what you cannot get. You cannot get what you cannot see. Always forced into compromise. Always have to make a sacrifice. Things are not what they seem to be. Living in a false reality. You can't go through life without.
Ooh, I thought I really have to double. I got to go all the way. Because I thought, yeah, we won't get no change until that sacrifice, which I think is, an idea much broader than I'm going to mention in the song as ideas. I think until we realize that there's a group that's actually sacrificing and consuming humanity for their, hey, it could just be their own goofball opinions, but then we've always had warriors that consume their enemies to gain their power. So just because it's moved to the elite penthouse of the 1% doesn't mean it's still not the same idea. Turns out some people want to generate those ideas and forces and have them around them. I think we expose that, we'd find out why we're always put at each other's throats. That's to keep a steady supply of meat to the grinder. But, what do I know? Very little. I'm here because the band Trident had a symbol that made me think of PRONG. That's it. I spend most days on these subjects talking to real people about this shit. I'm pretty sure it's the nature of existence right behind the veil. Right? The wizards hide behind the curtain. It's the deeper ideas they're wielding. In my personal opinion, all opinions for entertainment purposes only. So I, take it all with a grain of salt.
False reality. You can't go through life without these conditions. Divide and conquer. You can always rely upon opposition. Faith and sorrow. You can't go through life without some division. Divide and conquer. You're coming to time inside your own prison. Search for justice.
Hey!
Search for justice.
There! I believe we got a couple thousand reactions with the subjective nature of it all, whether it's art, justice, or truth. I'm cool. If everything, that's all I mean. I'm only here for shits and giggles. Why? Because I can only filter it through my own personal lens. And I know, listening to myself every now and then, at Tom McDonald, I thought I went maybe too far, so I had to watch it and make sure. It was dark, but no darker than reporting on a tragic, true event that divided and conquered a community. And to have that happen, people are going to take sides. But do I think that my ideas would be somehow sound for the global system? Hell no! I'm not stupid. But I think there's the problem. There's a whole lot of people who just are sure they can fix it. Let me do it this time. It'll be better. I'm going to use all of these bad ideas, but this time we're telling you the truth. Man, that gets complicated too.
Search for justice, search for truth, based upon your own values. Search for justice, search for truth, based upon your own values. Search for justice, search for truth, search for justice, search for truth. You can't go through life without some division. You're gonna do time inside your own prison.
Yep.
You can't go through life without these conditions. Divide and conquer. You can always rely upon opposition. Faith and sorrow. You can't go through life without some division. Divide and conquer. You're gonna do time inside your own prison.
Now, I hope I've freed myself from some of my prisons and then literally never went back to the actual one I was in. I will say this, I'm going to make sure I check all my boxes, I keep it off. I am appreciative of the opportunity to reflect upon this lyrical content and share my personal opinions. It's not to co-opt the name PRONG. It's not to think that I know something about anything. I don't. But if you're a full-time channel supporter, this is one of them good examples where, sure, from the Tom McDonald to this, it appears the sound, and then reflecting on the Sound and the Fury and the religious salesman and the, talking about thrash back in the day having plenty of undertones of social awareness. We'll just go with that. Yeah, the soundtrack of my life has really been a lot more than, Taylor Swift produces. I leave the relationship songs and that shit to someone else. I want shit like this. I can't function without some of this to, feed my faith and sorrow and then possible hope and anticipation. Say things, or just help me, keep focusing on health, wellness, and security for the closest loved ones around me. And, building up resolve against the opposition, weighing down from all directions. I don't know, but this music helps with all that. Literally.
Search for
Oof. Yeah. So I liked it. Hey, see that they're in the middle. That's what brought us here. Actually, it was just their logo and the trident, and so they for no other reason than cool. And then for all the reasons listed within the reaction, Prong Divide and Conquer official lyric video, and my reflections on subscribing to this channel are a sound. I'm happy to yeah. I'm just happy to be listening, and I'm a fan of Prong. So hopefully this will cause a lot less blocks if I come over here and work off their stuff. And, honestly, I hope I'm not trying to exploit it, just get something out of it. And that should be a good thing, I hope. Later.